Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. We're going to be going through all the stats of all 7 stages of the Backflow of Wishes Birth of Evil Dragon event that is coming during the 8th anniversary. Now funnily enough, it's not actually called that. I'm actually on the French version of the Dokkan info page, and the actual English translation is the Wishes Backfire Birth of the Shadow Dragons. So now that we got that out of the way, we're going to do exactly what we did last year for when Red Zone dropped on Global, and we're just going to go through all of the stages and all of the bosses we'll be facing. So let me know down in the comments if you're excited for this, and while you're there, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. But the first boss is against the 2-star dragon. I'm not going to lie, I don't remember all their names, so we're just going to go by the numbers. So he will have 250k attack stat on the basics, he'll have 70k defense, 60 mil HP, and then he'll do 625k damage on a super attack. Nothing we're too unfamiliar with, you know, that's kind of in the realms of, like, to be honest, actually less than Red Zone. But for its first stage, I'm not gonna lie, it's packing some heat. Like, don't forget, this is the first boss of the Shadow Dragon event. This isn't like one of the final ones. This is the first one. But as I said, nothing we're not too unfamiliar with. You know, we're used to being absolutely clapped by a Broly of like over a mil, you know, Cooler Core of 1.4. Then you have Cellmax's actual event, which is doing like ridiculous amounts of damage. So yeah, nothing we're not too used to. There are 7 attacks in total. And then to attack one less time, there's a chance of only 10%. And then the 17% for a super attack, I'm pretty sure that is 57% damage reduction. He will nullify the effect of sealing. To be fair, this is another thing we're already used to in Red Zone, like we don't get to seal at all. So the first stage, not really too difficult. He'll nullify attack and defense down status, again, stuff we typically don't get to do. Increases damage dealt to enemies, and boost category is artificial life forms. Then moving on to level 2 against the 5-star dragon, the Beaky Boy, is a 255k basic attack stat, 150k defense, 55 million HP, 6 attacks in a turn, and now we're bumping up to 714k in terms of SA damage. Again, nothing we shouldn't be able to kind of, you know, go up against. You know, we should be pretty okay here. As I said, we're kind of used to this type of damage with Red Zone. But as I said, for an event that only has 7 stages, that's quite a lot of damage just to kind of get going, like, straight off the bat, I won't lie. But again, nothing we shouldn't be able to kind of cope with. On super attack, he will raise defense for 1 turn and then inflict tremendous damage to your opponent and always stuns. That's the important bit. He will raise his defense. Not that raising his defense above 150k will do too much, because that will be like by 30%. But the stun, now, we all know how annoying that can be. You know, you may be able to tank the 714k damage, but having one of, like, your important units get stunned can make beating him in the process a little bit more, not difficult, but a little bit more, you know, tedious. Then it'll be for during 2 turns, standard. There's a 30% chance of him actually doing it. So, you know, not too frequent, but, you know, if you are caught by it, it can be quite annoying. We'll have 60% damage reduction. He nullifies the effect of sealing again. Do not faint, which I'm not actually sure what do not faint means. Does this mean you have to KO attack him or something? I'm not actually sure. I'm actually not sure what that means. As I said, this is the English translations of French, so it's not perfect. He'll nullify attack down status, which again, we don't really get to do too often in Red Zone. He'll reduce damage from non-intelligent attacks, which, again, the translations aren't exactly accurate. I'm pretty sure it's damage reduction, probably from a form of attack, essentially. He also nullified the damage of Ki Blast super moves as well. And then moving on to the level 3 stage boss, which is the 6-star dragon. Let's load him out. That is indeed Oceanus. I don't know why this has popped up twice. I don't know why this is here twice. Unless there's actually 3 phases where you face Oceanus like this, transformed, and then back into this. I'm not entirely sure, because this does exactly the same as this. Regardless, we carry on. 240k on a basic, 83k defense, only 35 million HP on the first phase, so it shouldn't be too difficult to get through her. She'll attack 7 times, 672k on a super. She will cause tremendous damage to the opponent, always stuns them. Of course, that will last 2 turns. One less attack chance is 10%. Then 17% on super. She has 60% damage reduction. She'll nullify the effects of sealing as well. Again, this do not faint thing, I'm really not sure what that's meant to translate, like off the top of my head, but here we go. She'll also nullify the lowering of attack and defense, and then reduce damage from non-physical attributes, which I'm pretty sure that probably means from non-physical attacks, maybe, something like that. Actually, no, sorry, not non-physical. She'll reduce damage received by non-physical units. That's basically what that means. There we go, we're catching on the fly. That means she will reduce damage received from non-physical type units. Is that what the other one was as well? Yeah, it basically will reduce damage received by units who aren't intelligent types. So essentially, if you're not bringing type advantage units, the type, neutral unit will do a little bit less damage, but still, it won't probably make that much of an impact. That is what that means. Good thing I finally caught on before we got near the end or like the final stage. Then on the next phase, when Oceanus transforms, she does 270k on a basic, 85k defense, not too much of an increase. 42 million HP, she'll attack 8 times in 1 turn, up to 756,000 damage in terms of a super attack, so a bit of a jump there, but again, nothing we shouldn't be able to cope with. She'll cause tremendous damage to the opponent and always stuns them. That will last 2 turns, a 30% chance of supering. She'll now have 64% damage reduction, nullifies the effect of sealing again. This do not faint stuff, which I'm still not sure what that is. Of course, you can't nullify attack and defense, or you can't, reduce it. And she also reduces damage from non-skill attributes. I've just quickly checked. I think these just pop up a few times. I'm not sure why. It's not meant to be like that. There is only like the 2 phases, like the start and 1 transformation. I don't know why they pop up twice. I really don't. So we have the 7-star dragon, who will have 210k on a basic, 85k defense, 23 million HP, will attack 6 times in 1 turn, only 525k damage on a super attack, then cause supreme damage to the opponent. No stun here, which is quite nice. A 15% chance of 1 less attack, 70% chance on the super attack, have 55% damage reduction. You can't lower attack and defense, reduces damage received from non-strength types, and also locks character swap, which honestly is probably one of my biggest pet peeves that a boss can have in Dokkan. I cannot stand character lock-in. So the 525k damage on a super, not a problem. The fact you can lock my characters, I hate you already. Haven't even played the stage, let alone the event, cannot stand you already. Then when he transforms, takes a bit of a jump. Goes from 210k on a basic to 500k. Only goes to 88k defense. Goes to 45 million HP. Now 7 attacks in 1 turn rather than 6. Then from 525k damage on a super, jumps all the way up to 1.4 million. Is that true? Is that actually what the jump is? Did he seriously go from 525k to 1.4 million? That is more than double. That's a big jump. A big jump. That's a lot of damage. That is Cooler Core region. That is where you're gonna have to start taking this event seriously if that is the case. That's where your Bird Coups have got to come through, your World Tournament Gokus, your God Coups, those type of units. On super, he will also lower attack. He has a 20% chance of doing so. One less attack chance, 7%, an 18% chance of super attack. Has 62% damage reduction. Obviously, you can't seal. You can't lower his defense. However, you can lower his attack. So that's not bad. I mean, not that it's going to make too much of a difference of 1.4 mil, but, 1.3 something is a lot better than 1.4. You take what you can get. And then you will reduce damage from non-quick. I'm just going to ignore these. Like, it's just, the translation just isn't great. And chance to block special move, 90%. Does this mean he can dodge? I always say this. I like to keep, especially on major celebrations, I like to keep some things fresh for myself. And again, these are mainly because of the translations from the French to the English website. But chance to block, does this mean he nullifies or like dodges? And if so, he has a 90% chance of doing that? That could be a pain. Regardless of what he does, that could be a pain if he does actually have a 90% chance to do that. And the next one is indeed Noova Shenron, who only has one phase. Yeah, I don't know why there's two. But he'll do 430k on a basic, have 90k defense, 70 million HP, he'll attack 8 times in one turn, 1.24 million damage. So we're kind of in that red zone region, you know, it is less than the transformed state of the previous one. There's still quite a bit bigger damage. And if you are taking like the powerhouse units into this stage, you should probably still want to be careful. There's probably still a few units that can be caught by that. And you never know, it just takes one super with 1.24 million damage, and your run's done, or you're almost dead, either or. On super attack, he will greatly increase attack for 1 turn, so he will raise this by 50%. So the longer you're in this, the more that 1.2 million damage will do every time he super attacks. Only for 1 turn, yes. But still, that 1.2 is going to jump up a little bit. So yeah, you might want to be a little bit careful. This is where you start taking this event seriously. 50% chance during 1 turn. He has a 9% chance to attack 1 less time. 18% chance of super attacking. He can super attack twice. Oh, okay. If he can actually super attack twice, that's dangerous because he could do this twice in 1 turn. That means this 1.2 is creeping more towards 1.4, and especially doing that twice, he can hit you for some serious damage. That means if the wrong units get hit by Noova Shenron, you're dead. Yeah, it's getting serious now. 67% damage reduction. Again, can't seal. You can't lower his defense. You can lower his attack, but considering he has the possibility of doing it twice, or supering twice, with a 50% defense raise on both, how much of a difference is that really going to make? And he also has 10% dodge chance. Not that high, but you never know. A super attack, you could be about to clap his cheeks with a super attack, and he decides to dodge it. But still, it's only a 10% chance of doing so. We have the 6th level, which is going to be Ice. It will have a 360k attack stat on basic, 80k defense, 68 million HP, 7 attacks in 1 turn. 1 million or 1,000,008. A little bit less than the Noova. I'm guessing he probably has a gimmick to have that much less damage, 200k less damage, or even more if you consider the 50% attack raise that Noova can do, especially with 2 super attacks in 1 turn. He must have a gimmick. He'll lower enemies' defense, so you're going to take more damage after he super attacks. 40% chance during 1 turn on SA effect, 10% chance to do 1 less attack. He only super attacks 1 time, and there's a 17% chance of doing that. 64% damage reduction, all the same stuff as usual. You can't lower his attack and defense, whereas you can lower Nova's attack. Okay, there we go. That's the gimmick. So he will do less damage. 1 million's still a lot to take, I'm not gonna lie. Again, the wrong unit can take a bag of damage from him. 1 million's still a decent amount of damage to take. However, the reason why he does so much less than Noova is because he will lock your units and also disable dodge. So your Fizz Godkus, your EZA Gogeta Blues, units like that, they can't dodge here. Although they should still fairly be alright, especially if you've got the damage reduction and then like all the defense raises for like 4 or 5 turns with Gogeta Blue, for example. But character lock-in and not being able to dodge, along with being hit by 1 million each super, again, yeah, he could catch you. The wrong unit, and if you're not careful, he could definitely catch you. But the final boss, of course, is going to be a 3-phase Shin Shenron. So, first phase, he'll do 330k on a basic, 90k defense, 33 million HP, 8 attacks in 1 turn, 924k damage on a super. So, phase 1 on the final stage, he's already bringing heat in terms of damage. The reason why that 924k damage on super is risky is it's the first phase. This is the very beginning of the fight where units like Godku, the year 7s, maybe even, actually no, yeah, even the year 8s, a lot of units need to build up. He's almost doing 1 million straight out the gate while you're building your units up. He could easily stop your run before it's even begun. So you're going to have to be really careful with this. No super attack effects, 11% chance to do one less attack, 17% chance of doing a super attack. Only once though, so that's alright. I mean, if it was 2, I think it'd be kind of ridiculous. 58% damage reduction. You can lower his attack, which is not bad. But again, when you're in the very beginning and you're waiting for units to build up, again, it's probably not going to make too much of an impact. Can't lower his defense. And I love the way this translates. Randomly changes key bars. So he'll randomly change key spheres. Now, if you have an orb change, just kind of set yourself up, that can be quite annoying. But I've never found a boss that changes key spheres to be any form of a problem. Sometimes it actually ends up helping you. But the second phase, he will now have 420k on a basic attack, 100k defense, 30 mil HP, so 3 mil less. Still has 8 attacks in 1 turn, but he now does 1.176 on super attack now. A lot of damage. No super attack effects, 14% chance to do 1 less attack, 14% chance to launch a super. Again, only 1 in the turn. Now 65% damage reduction. And you cannot lower his attack and defense this time round. Again, we're kind of used to that red zone. And he also loses the orb changing this time around. Other than that, it's kind of like basic red zone kind of gimmicks and standards. On basics on the final phase, he'll now do 480, 110k defense. His HP jumps up so much. So we go from 33 mil to 30 to now 71 million HP. Jesus. You gotta kill him quickly. Or just have like the best defensive units who don't take a lot to build up, if any. Yeah, no wonder this boss fight is considered one of the most difficult in Dokkan, because he's doing big damage straight out the gate when you're building units up while having a ton of HP. And now from 8 attacks, he now attacks 10 times in 1 turn, which is going to increase the likelihood of him supering. 1.344 million on super. A little bit less than Cooler Core, but still a lot of damage nonetheless. On super attack, he will also lower defense. Again, the wrong unit gets super attacked, and even if you survive, if his defense isn't in the range you need it, or with like guard and damage reduction, the basics may start hitting. Honestly. 40% during 1 turn. Super attack chance is 20%. Again, only 1 super attack. I think if there was multiple, that would be dangerous. Now has 70% chance of damage reduction. Nullifies the effect of ceiling, of course, and you also cannot lower attack and defense. So he doesn't have any special gimmick. He just does a lot of damage, can lower your defense, and has a ton of HP, and has 10 attacks in total. But his main thing is a lot of damage and a lot of HP. But that is all the bosses for the Shadow Dragon event coming for the 8th anniversary. And I can't lie, Sin, however you want to pronounce it, looking to be kind of dangerous. I cannot wait to take it on. I cannot wait to try it and experience it firsthand. I can't wait to start trying units, new and old, along with Red Zone in the Shadow Dragon event. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Are you looking forward to it? That Shenron fight, or that Shin Shenron fight, does look a bit dangerous. Does a lot of damage straight out the gate. Like I said, let me know your thoughts. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Anniversary is almost upon us. Not too long left now. But take care, have a good rest of your day, and peace.